Hi guys, this is Omkar here again making a small video. This time it is about my two bikes. Actually, my two very favorite bikes I've owned till date, the KTM Duke 390 and the Royal Enfield Thunderbird 500. Now yes, the KTM Duke 390 is my secondary bike. This is my second bike, or actually my first bike, and this is the bike which I recently bought, the Thunderbird 500. If you all have seen my other videos, you all must have known how excited I was when I got this bike. Now this video is regarding a small comparo between these two bikes, and yes, these two bikes do not compete with each other in any way. This thing caters to a very different audience, this thing caters to a very different audience. But yes, the reason for comparing these two bikes is one, I own both of them, so I am in a state to tell you how was the ownership experience of owning both. Two, these two come at a similar price point of around 2 lakh plus. This is 2,30,000 on road now. This is 2.15 lakhs here in Goa. Both of them give a similar mileage of say 35 kilometers, 30 to 35 kilometers to the liter. Both of them have good displacement, a 500cc engine, a 375cc engine. So I just want to point out a few points here and there about these two bikes and how these two bikes have been across the years. Now I have had this bike for 2 years now, the KTM Duke 390, and it has done exceptionally well. I've taken this for long rides, I've taken it to college, I've taken it for city rides, I've hauled luggage on this, I've brought groceries on this, I've done almost everything that you could do on a bike on the KTM Duke 390, and it has done everything really well. And also I would like to mention a few points or the few things that you all must already be knowing about the KTM Duke 390. Double disc setup, steel bedded lines, liquid cooled engine, ABS as standard, fuel injected bike, around 11 liters of fuel tank capacity. It has a brilliantly mounted or brilliantly feature rich instrument cluster which gives a lot of information here. Currently the bike is switched off. As you all know, the instrument cluster actually really helps a lot. And to tell you a little bit more about the bike is an aggressive bike. The engine is aggressive, the power delivery is aggressive and peaky slightly. It's really good for cornering. It's a cornering addict. Does really good high speeds. Stability is slightly on the lower side, but still manages speeds really well, picks up speeds really well. 0 to 100 timing around 6 seconds, top speed around 170 plus, say 175 max. Mileage is around 30 to 35 that I've got in the past 2 years. And again, to tell you a little bit more about the negative sides of the bike, heating is the one thing that would be top of my chart. The bike heats up, especially in city traffic, a lot. You can actually feel it through the jeans. Yes, you can feel it through the jeans. Now this is the 2014 model. Probably the newer versions have some upgrade for the heating issues, but yes, this thing heated up a real lot in the markets. Also a little bit about the fueling is jittery and jerky. It's not very smooth, so when you are like say puttering around in second, third gear in the city, you would feel those jerks every now and then, which kind of get very annoying, very annoying, and you would almost feel discomforted. So this is again a highway junkie. It's on the highway, it comes in its own league. There is nothing in and around the 400cc mark that touches this bike in terms of speed. Stability, as I mentioned, is pretty okay, not really that great. The Metzeler's that it comes standard with are the talking point. It's really good, really sticky tires. Now the rear tire I've upgraded to the Michelin Street Pilot. This is my second set of rear tires. So this is the Michelin Street that I've upgraded to. Pretty decent tire, pretty good tire. Now moving to the next bike here, the Royal Enfield Thunderbird 500. You all must be knowing all the specs about the bike. I won't get into it much. So coming directly to the ownership experience, I've had this bike only for a couple of months now. So about the reliability or the maintenance issue, I don't have anything to say about it as of yet. Coming back to the Duke 390, the maintenance was pretty nice. The bike had no issues whatsoever in terms of engine component failures or any sorts of issues with the bike. The bike had no issues, only the servicing was done duly with the authorized service dealers. So on that part I give it a very high score in terms of reliability and maintenance. Now coming to the Thunderbird again, for the past 2 months I've been riding extensively. I've already crossed around 2,500 kilometers on the bike. Already been there, already been for a very long ride on this bike, one ride to Hampi from Goa. So it has really fared well on that rides. Now to talk about a few advantages of owning a Royal Enfield Thunderbird 500. One is that the bike is comfortable. If you are of a normal stature, or if you have a normal body, if you're not very tall or very short, this bike is really comfortable for everyone. The seat especially is nice and wide, handlebars are nice and high. You don't get fatigue for a very long time. The 500cc comes with a decent amount of power, and I've got a Red Rooster performance exhaust fitted on it, which gives a nice thump out there. So that is another advantage. The symphony of the sound is really good. And another few things is that the cruising capability. The bike is happiest between 80 to 90 or 80 to 100 kilometers per hour. It cruises all day long, but that's something that Duke hesitates to do at lower speeds. It likes cruising say around at the 100 plus mark. It has a 6-speed gearbox. This thing has a 5-speed gearbox. So actually cruising at high speeds is what the Duke does, but then the wind blast is something that would actually spoil the experience. Now coming to some negative parts of the Thunderbird, the bike is really heavy in city traffics. The bike does not handle really well in city because of its weight. Then again, parking the bike is very difficult, whereas for the Duke 390, it being light, is easy to maneuver in and around small parking spaces. And another few disadvantages I would say according to the Thunderbird is the vibrations. Yes, we all know Royal Enfields vibrate, but again, since I've not been vibrating on the Duke 390, the vibrations are fairly new to me on the Thunderbird. Now this was a small video letting you all know about a basic comparo and a small ownership experience of an owner. I am no expert here to comment on these two bikes. We all know these two are legends in its own way, but just as an owner here, I feel like these two bikes compared or competed with each other at some point, at least the price point here, and hence I thought of making a small video. This video did not have a specific outline or a specific set of points that I wanted to discuss. I just made it just to clear out anybody's doubt here. If anybody is still confused between this or still feels that there are a few points that I should have mentioned about these two, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be replying to it as soon as I can, or as soon as it is possible for me. But for now, thanks for watching, and stay tuned to this channel. I'll be uploading a little bit more videos about these two bikes. Actually, the Royal Enfield Thunderbird, to be more specific, I'll be uploading a lot more videos. As I've said, I've done a trip recently on this. I'll be uploading another video explaining what was the actual experience of a rider throughout the trip. So please stay tuned, and please look at the space for more videos. Thanks for watching now. Bye bye.